So now we're about to speak about email privacy. The topic, the presentation is prepared by Yawa Coutinho-Cornejo.
Thank you, Anna. So, this is a topic that I'm going to be presenting today. So, I would like to start with the motivation. Email is something that is widely used nowadays. Even when we get into the university, one of the first things we get is an email account. So, even if we don't want to use this technology, we're basically being, we have no choice. We use it in the university, we use it in companies. It's widely used nowadays, and the question is, how safe is it in the terms of privacy of the communication? So, to understand the topic, I would first like to give a small introduction in the concept of the internet. The internet is a network, and then it can be seen as a graph. So we have different nodes and paths connecting them. Every node will be a server, a computer, or a router. They are basically forwarding the messages. And that will be the internet, and the mail system is basically constituted of two parts. There's the SMTP protocol, which is how the user communicates with the client, and how the service, how the clients communicate with the server, and how the servers communicate to each other. So that's basically the language that you speak whenever they're sending an email. It's a plain text-based protocol, it's unencrypted, and it doesn't require any authentication. And who is using the SMTP? So the machine from the user that is sending the email and the mail servers themselves. They are basically receiving, sending, storing, forwarding emails, and they are, whenever you want to retrieve an email, you connect to the mail server of the university, for example, and for that you have to authenticate yourself whenever you want to retrieve emails. You don't need authentication though to send an email. You can send an email from any email address that you want. A small example, if we consider this small network to be a part of the internet, and we have this client here, which is a user who wants to send an email, the first thing he will do is to connect to his mail server, which is usually an encrypted connection, and then he posts the email for delivery. Then his server is going to connect to the recipient server, which is usually an unsafe connection using the SMTP protocol. And then later on, the recipient will connect to his server to get his mail, to be able to read it. What are the problems then? So first, we have the mail servers that are storing the emails, and the mails are being stored there. It belongs to Yahoo or Google or some company or to the university, and you never know, they have the possibility to read your emails. I mean, they have it, they can do it. There was in 2010, ex-Google employee was reading the user emails. He was fired for that, but still it's something possible, it can happen. And here's a discussion in a website about, is your boss reading your email? I mean, whenever you have an email account in a company, the company IT department, they have access to that. They may be reading your email, they may be forwarding to your boss. I mean, it's something that I think most people are not doing, but they can do it. Another problem is, of course, this transmission path in the communication, which is, we have the routers of the internet, which are basically forwarding the package of the connection. And these routers, they build the infrastructure of the internet, they connect the computers and servers, and whatever goes through these routers, you also don't know what they are doing with the information. They may be reading the whole traffic, they may be recording and sending to somewhere else, to the NSA, I don't know. The thing is that you never know, it's unencrypted, they may just read the content. And these routers, they usually belong to private telecommunications companies or to the government, which is the case here in the university, for example, use the government network. A third problem would be a typical attack, which not only is a threat for email, but for any security communication in general, which is called the man-in-the-middle attack, in which whenever you're connecting to a server for posting or receiving your emails, there might be a possibility of somebody being in the middle of the connection and actually creating encrypted connection to this node, and the attacker is going to create an encrypted connection to the server. And actually, then he's going to bridge both connections, but he will be able to read what is going on, because inside the node itself, it's not encrypted. It will be only forwarding the message. That's one of the problems that we have with the Welcome network here in the university. It's not so safe to use. A possible solution for that would be asymmetric encryption, which is it's a type of encryption that uses two keys. It's a key pair. So we have a public key that's only encrypting, and a private key that is only for decrypting. So it's not like standard encryption that you have a key for encrypting and encrypting. You have two different keys, and with a public one you can only encrypt, private one only decrypt. And then whenever you generate a key pair, you can publish the public key, so everybody will have it. And whenever they want to send a message to you, they're just going to get it, encrypt the message, and send to you. Nobody else will be able to read the message because you need a private key to decrypt the message, and the private key only belongs to the owner of the key. You won't be publishing that one. A small example would be, for example, we have Alice and Bob has a message that he wants to send to Alice. So Alice can generate a key. The public key is the green one. He's going to send it to Bob. Bob can then get his message with the public key from Alice, encrypt it, and create an encrypted message. This encrypted message can be then sent to Alice, and Alice is the only one with the red key, which is the private one. And then with this private key and encrypted message, she can decrypt the encrypted message and get back to the original message sent from Bob. So whoever is in the middle and is listening to the connection won't be able to know what the message from Bob actually was, because he won't have the private key, which was not transmitted. A standard for this type of encryption is the OpenPGP, which is widely used for email encryption. It's the most used standard actually for email. It can actually encrypt other stuff, but for email is a huge success, and it provides end-to-end encryption. So it means that an email would leave my computer encrypted, and it will be decrypted at the recipient's computer. So whatever is going through the network, through the internet, won't be able to, it can't be written from anywhere, from anyone. And it works with key servers, and whenever you create your key, you can attach to it your name and your email address, and then you can upload it to a key server. The key server is basically then storing many public keys from many people. So if I want to send a message to a friend of mine, I can just look up if he already has his public key, upload it to a server, download it, encrypt the message, and send it. There is a problem with that. The key servers, they do not authenticate the key. So that means that I can generate a key, say it belongs to Professor Carl Krill. I upload with his mail address, and then when somebody else wants to send him a safe email, he's going to use this key, which is on the key server, but it was never been authenticated. He may have uploaded that or not, or somebody else that created another key. And that's a problem from the standard, and some solutions are already showing up for that. We have, for example, the keyserver.pgp.com, which is a key server that has an email authentication. So whenever you upload a key, they're going to send an email to the email that belongs to that key, asking, are you really the owner of this key? You submitted the key, so please confirm the submission. And then if you own the email, you will confirm, and then the key will be recognized as valid, and then it's going to be published on the server. Another possibility is signing the key with the so-called Web of Trust system, and it works like the following. I have a key pair, and my friend also has, and we know each other, know that his key pair belongs to him, and that's who he is. He's the owner of the email, so I'll sign his key, and he may sign mine. And the idea is that it gets big, so I get many signatures from many different people, which is a way to verify that the key really belongs to the person that I say it belongs to. An example of this is heise.de. It's a website they can do it for you. You can identify yourself with your personal ID at them with their public key, and they will sign it. So they're basically authenticate saying that you are really the owner of this key. How to use this technology? There is free software available for that. The OpenPGP standard is the open standard itself. The most used one is the GNU Privacy Guard. It's available for all platforms. You can just download, install it. And it's responsible for doing the encryption, decryption, key generation, and so on. And for the Thunderbird email client, there is an extension that is going to use the GNU Privacy Guard to encrypt, decrypt, authenticate the emails directly inside the Thunderbird, and it makes everything much easier. That's how the message will look like whenever it's encrypted with PGP. And so a small conclusion and resume. The emails are transmitted unencrypted through the internet, so it's not a safe way of communication. OpenPGP provides end-to-end encryption, which is really nice. We can use it. The encryption tools are for free, available on the internet. We can use it. And there's just a small problem that the public key authentication is still, we still have to be aware of the problems of that. We don't want to send an email to somebody using the key that doesn't belong to him. So that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be glad to answer some questions.
Yes, now it's time to ask questions. Please.
Why are the servers to each other not encrypted?
That's a good question. I think they do not encrypt the connection because they are sending many emails, and encrypting the connection would be actually